Welcome back to another episode of Town Talk.
Come on.
What's happening?
We back, y'all, live and direct. Wavy Wednesdays and a nice little, the weather bounced back in Seattle. It was a little ugly last week. How you guys feeling?
Man, yeah.
It's
it was
good.
Brutal last week.
It's good. The sun is back out. That's all that matters. As long as it's sunny out here, we good.
Yeah, well. But nah, man. Straight into it, Wavy Wednesdays, man.
Come on.
The hosts are saying that we got a lot to talk about.
Man, for sure.
I'm not even gonna lie. Skip was talking crazy about Team US basketball.
Hey.
So I just want to jump straight into that.
Hey.
I saw a potential starting lineup with Steph Curry, LeBron James,
Count it.
Kevin Durant.
Count it.
And I'm going to be honest, I forgot the other two starters. But
I heard Kawhi wants to be under the
Kawhi was talking about playing, but he was on one of the people that they potentially cut from the team.
Yeah.
But I would put, if you add Jimmy Butler, Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think off the top of my AD, Anthony Davis. We get him in there if he's healthy. I mean, off that team alone, who's beating that overseas?
There's a lot.
There's a lot of teams beating that, bro.
Giving,
See what I'm talking about? That's crazy.
No,
that are giving them problems.
Skip,
because we
had
don't
to say
know
Schroeder was our biggest threat.
Nah, Schroeder's a problem for Germany, but
Come on, bro.
I'm talking about France right here. We talking about the Twin Towers, the new Twin Towers. We talking about my boy Wimby, who might be shooting from half court. We don't even know what he can do yet.
Right.
We just know that he has full reins of that San Antonio team, and man, from what I've seen overseas, he's a problem, especially for the fact that he's that big and the fact that he can move the way he moves. But I'm throwing him in there, and Dubert, my COVID brother Gobert.
Stop it. You're saying that's a problem for Team USA?
That is heavily a problem with defensively.
A starting
and
five of Hall of Famers. A starting five full of Hall of Famers.
I'm saying a lot of those guys are aging out of their prime.
Stop it.
But they're still in the prime. They're just on the tail end. But then you have a lot of young athleticism from these overseas teams that are going to put some wear and tear on them. That's what I'm saying. When it comes down to it, basketball is a full game. You got to go play a full game.
That's why they play. Yeah, that's facts.
It's
that's
why
facts.
they play. But as we talked about last time, it's crazy how these overseas players are developing and becoming almost like, they're looking like they're growing up in America, how they're developing.
This is no knock against all the overseas players, all the European League players. Like, these guys have some amazing talent.
Come on.
That's a fact.
Come on.
But USA has the best basketball players in the world. There's no debate about that.
I mean,
that's why everybody wants to come to the NBA.
Overall consensus, the Americas, yes.
How do you feel about Noah Lyles saying otherwise?
Well, clearly he don't be watching the NBA, so that's crazy.
Yeah, all the best teams. Obviously, the NBA is the NBA for a reason.
If there weren't players from all over the world trying to get into this one specific league,
for sure.
Like, I mean, come on now.
But now we're talking about if we even have an international. I think they should do it. All-Star game. Also do a top USA athletes in the NBA versus the top international.
Like how they did for the
rookie sophomores.
Yeah.
If they do that,
that'd be fire.
That would be fire, and we might be getting blown out. But I'm saying it'll be even more competitive.
Technically, yeah, I could see.
It'll be ridiculous.
Team USA versus Team World. Yeah, like that would be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that would be fair.
Luka, it's Wimby.
With every country against Team USA, I don't think it would be fair.
That's why I'm saying they're building.
It's got to be East versus
West. That's
what
I'm saying. Obviously, the NBA, of course, is the greatest league. It's just like the Champions League for soccer.
Right. Everybody
the
wants
best
to get in
players there. But at the same time, anything can happen. Like what do we see with our Sounders? We came out with a FIBA dub.
Yeah.
It happens.
That's true.
You got some dogs. Dogs are gonna bark and they're gonna bite, man. It's about who's really about it. And shoot, we even seen before Luka's NBA career, he came in the NBA and got a dub. You know? Shoot, even who's that? That one dog. Milos Teodosic. He was cooking, and even Ricky Rubio. You know, that's what I'm saying. You get an extra look with these players. You know, when we have these like preseason games against the overseas teams.
Yeah,
they didn't have Wemby here for a reason.
I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
Do you think Wemby is about to be the greatest player of all time?
I'm saying for how I've never seen a number one pick. I've never seen a number one pick announced like that. I've never seen a draft lottery where people broadcasted it and millions of people watched.
LeBron James.
That's one thing, but it was that's what I'm saying. That's a high school it was meant to be with the Cavaliers. Like it was a no-brainer. Like Derrick Rose to the Bulls. Like you go into your hometown, it's a no-brainer. Wemby is not from here. Everybody wants him to be a part of their city, a part of their organization. Everybody wants him. So it's about I'd never seen a draft lottery where it was all about who got the number one pick, and then right after they get the number one pick, they go to the number one pick before he's even picked. And he did an interview. Oh, I like San Antonio. I think it's going to be a good place. It was a no-brainer. Nobody else did that. So you can expect with that magnitude.
I'm not going to lie, bro. When
I think it's gonna
a draft class isn't as strong, or there's one significant player that's miles ahead of everybody else, that number one pick is always going to be obvious. Now, I'm not saying this draft class was weak by any means. Like, there's some hoopers, for sure. And that just proves that Wemby is that far ahead compared to those guys.
Exactly.
However, if Wemby and LeBron James were in the same draft, LeBron is going first.
You're talking
10
about
times out of 10.
18-year-old LeBron.
18-year-old LeBron is going first over Wemby, bro. I don't know about
that, Cuddy, just for the fact that his athleticism and his athletic... He's over 7-footer. He's shooting threes. He's getting his own rebounds. He's crossing people up. He's diming people. He's you don't even know what position to call it because he's a creative player. Like, he's almost like that. He's a forward guard center. Like, it just doesn't even... It's an experiment. He's like Experiment X. We don't even know what Wemby is going to be. We just know that he's great at basketball. He's someone who, if they create in their NBA 2K as a kid, their creative player wants to be best at everything, and he's 7'5". This is who you are.
I mean, we've had players come through that could do damn near everything. What was Magic Johnson when he was playing?
All I'm saying is, when players went overseas, we talk about Wilt numbers. Wilt did some numbers. This might be a Wilt offspring the way he's doing numbers. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's just so much.
I mean, it's exciting. It's definitely exciting.
It's about the build-up it brings, and I love that conversation, how people compare the older generation versus ours. Because all we need is someone of that likeness to come in the picture, and it destroys the whole narrative. Now you got someone who is like Wilt Chamberlain, who's getting rebounds, dumb athletic. I mean, not to the athleticism of the strength and all.
Definitely not the strength.
Will obviously had that. But,
definitely not the strength.
But he has more agility and ball skill than Wilt does. You know, it's a new generation of hoop. People know how to dribble. People know how to protect the ball. So
but I think until somebody is really averaging 50 and 20,
and then we're basing off
of
season. Last Olympics. Last Olympics, you know, France was up there, but then the dark horse was Luka. Luka's only getting better. Luka's only picking apart NBA players and knowing their traits.
But is his defense getting better?
Who else?
His country?
Who else is on that team that's going to stop Team USA?
On that team?
Who's going to stop the 5-6 Hall of Famers that I named?
That's what I'm saying. It comes down to the youth, obviously, the youth athleticism of these Olympic teams, because it's these young superstars that are really making the impact. Obviously, we know some of the older superstars, but Luka and Jokic's country, it used to be a country. If they happen to combine those, it's trouble. But
If Luka and Jokic on the same team, that's a problem.
Trouble.
That's the one problem
That's
I could
trouble,
really see
trouble.
U.S. like
And if they combine the country, that
struggling and
also
only
brings
winning
in
by
the
20 in that
Bogdanovich brothers too.
they'll only win by 20 in that game.
What?
Team USA.
You think that they will blow out? They didn't blow out people in the last Olympics. That's what I'm saying. Based off of last Olympics, you got to bring in the stats. So the stats
Who was playing on the last Olympics? Who was really playing?
KD, Melo. Was he in that one? Was Melo in that? Was that Melo's last Olympics?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
KD and Melo.
KD, Melo.
That's all we remember.
Oh, I think Kyrie might have played. Kyrie play? I don't know. Drew Holiday, he was on that team. Shoot.
But
if we
get a
that's
team
what I'm saying. It comes down
filled
to
with 5 to 7 Hall of Famers
For
that
sure.
are still in their prime. I'm gonna say LeBron's in his prime until he retire. I'm not even gonna cap.
He's that force. He's that force.
Until he's not averaging damn near a 20-point triple-double.
Facts.
He's going to be in his prime.
Facts.
But, I mean, as good as the world is getting as far as catching up with basketball, I just don't see it. They're not going to win.
I love to see the competition.
I got my money on the home country. Team USA,
Hey.
we rocking all the way.
Hey, I got my money on it as much as people had their money on Errol Spence. Everybody got a plan, man. Till they get punched in the face.
Yeah, no, that's
man.
facts.
That's what I'm saying. I can't bet on it, but I will bet on the competition being there. I expect people to show
100%.
up, and I expect teams to not get blown out. Like, people to real put up dogfights, and you expect to see people pick up, and that's what happens after every Olympics. People pick up contracts, NBA contracts off of it. Australian players did it.
That's why they be hooping.
Lucas players did it. Like, one of his teammates is on, I swear, I forgot what team, but he makes people look nice because he's that type of player, but maybe that's even how they play in their country. That's what I'm saying. You don't know that type of brotherhood that they have on top of what we got here.
And that's
get petty.
That's the other thing, bro.
You know,
like
in the way,
those other countries when they play together, when they're playing for their country, bro.
For sure.
They play on that team for years.
Facts.
Like
Facts.
all of them playing together for
families growing up with each other.
When you have that type of team chemistry, that does make your team a lot harder to beat. With that being said,
I just want to see competition.
Yeah.
I want to be looking forward to every game because it has at least one NBA player on the roster, or that team is just dogs. Like, I want to see every game other than the USA's game because just like last Olympics, like I really wanted Luka to face us, but his team wasn't really there yet. But I think they lost to like Australia or something, or maybe it was France, but. France only got better. Like, that much better. That's where it's like...
I mean, all these teams are definitely getting better.
There's these teams where,
facts.
man, it's scary. It is getting scary as far as the Olympic gold on the line. Like, it's getting to that point to where, the level of competitiveness is really up there. Like,
it's definitely leveling out.
For the World Cup, like how it's gotten. Obviously, it's not the same countries just winning over and over and over again. Germany won. I mean, you got other like countries that are like, stepping up, like as far as like elevating the sport, people getting better, playing as a unit. Like, it just favors that way, especially in Olympic, just anything like Olympic team sports. So
100%,
just playing for your country type stuff. But I love to see the competitiveness and I mean, obviously, I want to see every NBA star on the roster. That's what I always wanted as a kid, but it never worked out that way. Never worked out that way. Like,
injuries,
only until like
contract disputes,
the 08 team, or not even the 08. Might have been the it wasn't the 08 team. I think it was like the 2012
The Redeem team?
Yeah. Was that 2012 or 2008?
That was 2008, because 2004 is when they
got bronze.
Lost. Yeah. And then 2008 was the Redeem team with Bron, Wade, Kobe, Melo, Bosh, all them like, in their prime too.
Exactly. So 2008, 2012 were years where that's where the Olympics you knew everybody on the roster type stuff. Like, everybody was a well-known superstar. You expected that. But since then, 2016, we won but I believe that maybe that was like the last year. Maybe that was the last year of Melo. Because hold on,
What,
he's
in
he's won
2020?
4 because 2008, 2012. Yeah, he played till 2020. So like, yeah, I say up until this last Olympics was like the first team without real like superstars except KD. And
Like only a few of them.
yeah, it was only KD really because Zach was on there. Obviously, Zach's a superstar.
He's filthy, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. Zach LaVine,
Consistently,
compared
saying
to
healthy,
the best
he could
players
be.
on the team, is he the top 12? Or is better yet, is he in the top 6 guards in the league?
Yeah, healthy. Yeah,
Healthy Zach?
yeah, healthy Zach. Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'm not gonna say none of that. I mean, I think he is a phenomenal player,
Absolutely.
but a top 6 guard in the league, that's tough.
But speaking of expectations and
Hey,
levels of
tell 'em.
competition, man, what's up with the Mariners?
Man.
And the 54% going on, like, and kind of explain the 54% skip and like,
Man.
how do you feel about the GM just saying that we're good, we're okay with being sorry?
Shoot, dude, been here 8 years, and I can't call our coach Skipper because he ain't earned that name. One playoff appearance, that ain't doing it for me, man. So Scott Servais, man, is just not cutting it, especially with the talent that we have. We have young superstars. It's almost like a reignite of like the 90s, like kind of like era type of roster like that we have where the pitchers are well known, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and then you got the hitters that are well known, Julio, who's also a multi-dimensional player, super all-star, like just overall superstar. And then you have consistency in JP Crawford, you got Cal at catcher, like all these pieces are there, Ty France, like everybody's there. But it's like at that same time, we made some iffy off-season moves, with this, we all knew that Colton Wong wasn't going to be really, him when he got here. And then we ended up, getting rid of him mid-season, and it just, we got nothing for him, basically. So it was like, that whole deal just was like, it was just like washed from the beginning. So like their off-season moves haven't aligned, and then to say you have to win 54% of your games, and they basically did that this year, like, and still didn't make the playoffs. It just doesn't make sense. It's not really that's not an aspiring goal to be in, especially in an organization that never ever made it to the World Series. Like,
Yeah,
and
buddy,
we've
how you
had
feel
crazy
about that?
talent.
As a
Argue as a spectator, as a casual baseball fan, a casual Mariners fan of the city, like the goal should be to win 100% of the games.
Facts.
Especially with a team like ours, we have
Facts.
Julio,
Yeah.
who's considered a generational talent,
Yeah.
who's probably one of the best in this position. You feel me?
Yep.
Like, why are we not in the playoffs?
Yeah.
At least,
Yeah.
like the playoffs should be the minimum.
Yeah.
The goal should be winning the World Series every year with him on the squad. Like, I mean, because the thing is, like, if the goal is to win 54% of the games, you're telling me every other game the coaches are like, oh, yeah, sit this one out.
Like, let's just
Yeah.
Like, bro, these guys are literally
what
getting
type
paid.
of mindset is that for like the most professional players in the world?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
they're getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play a sport at the best level possible.
Yeah.
Why are they not going out expected to win every single game? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you guys feel about any free agents coming in? Like, what can the GM do to make this better? Like,
Well, obviously, the GM, for his comments saying that fans need to have patience and that we should be lucky in the position that we're in. We should be thankful. Like, it's just straight arrogant for a whole lot of nothing that they've shown. But obviously, they probably won't talk to the media until, next year when they're required to. But if they manage to pull out the Ohtani, all is forgiven. You're obviously on the right path. You got the guy. That's somewhere where you can't go wrong because
why do you
that's
think he would
someone.
want to play here?
Well, he obviously has, shout out to our cousin Jake, working at Driveline. He has a connection to Driveline. And other than that, he loves the environment and the fact that Ichiro, he's Japanese, everybody, he's like the Japanese Michael Jordan for real. Like, it's crazy how Ichiro was starstruck to meet Michael Jordan because he ended up being, up to that stature, like, culturally for his people. Like, someone who still can play. Like, and he's like 50. Like, and it's crazy how gifted he was and, his talent, and obviously first ballot Hall of Famer, Mariners Hall of Famer too. So, like, undeniably, you would want someone who, it's like anybody playing for the Bulls, everybody wants to build off of that legacy, and although, we ain't the Bulls in no way, no regard because,
we don't have no rings.
But we do have cultural icons. Like, we have stupid icons, Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr., my GOAT, should be everybody's, A-Rod, Pay-Rod, that's where it started here. And shoot, just greats within the whole, like, system. Like, Edgar Martinez, Jamie Moyer, Jay Buhner, Dan Wilson, like, John Olerud. We had crazy people who were just like, man, I'd play, like, literally, like, playing in the video game, it was almost like a cheat code. Everyone up to bat is hitting home runs or, they're hitting, crazy hits and stuff because, that was, like, the type of talent that we had. Even we had Lou Piniella at coach, but, he ain't no Lou Piniella, Lou Piniella at least won before he got here, and, bro has no track record, and to be here 8 years and the talent that was already, drafted here or, built within the organization is just developing on their own like Julio and Kyle Lewis did, it sucks to hear something like that from, I would hate to hear from, like, something like that to come from, like, Pete or John after a losing season. Like, that's just, you can't take back. Like, even on air they're saying, like, he should be fired. Like, I think both of them should be fired. If we don't come out with Ohtani or someone to really show for it, yeah, bye-bye. You can take that strategy elsewhere. Yeah, we need our songs back.
We've been patient. I'm saying, man, for real.
Yeah, we need
above anything else.
So long, like every year, the fans show out to the games, man. In these last 2 years, with a little bit of a better team, you would think. They've already raised the ticket prices, and now we have season ticket holders. I heard on the radio just this morning that she was complaining that if the GM's not gonna put the money that they're getting from, they've raised ticket prices 40% in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
For season ticket members, and she that's hundreds extra, filming on season tickets.
For real.
Yeah.
She's like, if they're not gonna spend the money to make a better team, like, at what point do we say, like, why are we still coming? How are we, supporting this situation? Like,
yeah,
what can the team do, like, to help make the city have faith again?
I mean, obviously they got a little bit of familiar ownership in there now, with Ken Griffey Jr. added to, as part of the shareholders and, obviously being in the front office. And I think it's up to him to make that move if they ask him, like, who should be the next coach. I think that people should look towards, like, Edgar Martinez. He's been in the building for dumb years, even after retiring. He's a full-time Mariner. Right after he, retired, he was working as the hitting coach. Got all these, these guys hitting. That's the main thing, getting people hitting. So I think with a coach like that, a familiar coach, someone within the organization at least, you got a great shot at being in a great spot next season. Like, no matter who we get, if we get Ohtani or not, like, this was a playoff-ready team. So I think with someone just familiar in front office, that, former player, ties to, somewhat familiarity to the organization and the players and stuff like that, can right off the bat, give us a push, that's the best bet. But dudes like this trying to win 54% of games and strategize that way,
that's
like,
crazy.
That's not hitting. That's not hitting.
Bro's goal is to be average.
We literally had most winningest season of all time in baseball, 116 wins. And you're talking about win 54% of the games to that same organization. That's what I'm saying. Ohtani or bye-bye. But, hey, on to the next one. Like our Hawks, man. Come on.
The Hawks are looking really good,
And the Hawks been balling this year.
How you guys feel about that number 5 pick? They're saying we should have had Jalen Carter, but our cornerback got more picks more sacks and picks than this.
Witherspoon is balling like crazy right now.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching that last game against the Giants. Come on. Oh, my God. Now, don't get me wrong. The Giants are trash. But regardless, like, seeing that type of performance from the Hawks, yeah. It's looking like we're making a playoff push this year, for sure.
For sure. We started that early, Obviously, you saw from the reaction. That's the thing. Like, you can tell from the bounce back. The bounce back that they had from first game, regardless, from that on, we gonna win. Like, it doesn't matter if it's pretty or ugly. We just gonna win. Like, as long as we play consistent, we're gonna win. And, it may not work out for certain people on the stat sheet, but at the end of the day, 3-1, they rank us whatever,
it don't even
middle
matter
of the pack. It don't matter. Yeah. It don't matter.
As long as we keep winning.
I know the position that we're in, getting in this bye week, getting everybody back, getting Jamal back again healthy, and Tariq full speed, Abe Lucas maybe, Charles Cross,
Yeah, the bye week came at the right time.
Yeah,
who was kind of mad about it?
Sky's the limit, and then
it came right on time.
And then we got the injured Bengals. Fresh off that week, I think that's gonna be a good little bounce back week. And then right after that, we get Eskridge back. So
yeah, man. But before we wrap the show up, we gotta finish with the hot topic that the other day.
Oh yeah, we gotta go for it.
Bundy called me about. He said we gotta do Wavy Wednesdays, man. We gotta go live.
We gotta look at
this guy Skip is tripping. Skip thinks that the Warriors will not make the playoffs.
And we are talking top 8. We're not talking play-in.
Okay. And
we're talking top 8.
And how do you feel about that, Bundy?
This nigga's crazy. I gotta keep it a buck, bro. The Warriors, who have arguably, if Curry wins a championship this year, he could go down as the greatest point guard of all time.
So
that's number one. You have top 3 shooter of all time with Klay Thompson. You got Draymond Green, who's going to be the heart and soul of the team. You got Chris Paul.
He's going to be the heart and soul, but will he?
It doesn't matter what type of stats Draymond puts up.
If they play the Lakers and he's giving away dubs, how do you feel about that?
If you're in the playoffs, it don't matter. The Warriors are going to be a top 6 seed this year, guaranteed, bro.
Top 6 seed, guaranteed. How have they improved from last season?
Bro, we got Chris Paul.
And Sartic.
Bro, you make it seem
who's
like
not making the playoffs from last year that the Warriors are replacing?
The Pelicans are not.
Well, the Memphis isn't going to be a top 6 seed this year with Ja out half the season. That's guaranteed.
And Brandon Clark out. He's the number 1 rebounder.
They've won 37-24 without Ja. That's a good record.
That is. That's a really good record.
With D Rose now, because D Rose was pretty much shelved last year. I don't know why D Rose didn't get any play
between those games. That's not just without him at one stretch. That's just in between times where he's injured and not over time.
He had a stretch last year.
Coaching. No, for sure. He went out for a stretch at times. But
How many games? It was like 20 something.
20.
20. Yeah.
It was 20.
But this is gonna be 44
20
games.
and 20.
This is gonna be 42
He's out
games.
until after the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Now they'll make a playoff push, but they're not a top 6 seed.
I don't know, but then we got other teams that have gotten better.
So Denver's probably gonna be top 3 seed guaranteed. Who else out the West? Phoenix. I can see them being a top 3 seed.
Okay. Clippers are probably gonna be 5 or 6.
And they might have Harden and be a 3 seed.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Lakers
are gonna be in the playoffs, top 8. I don't see the Lakers being
solid 7 seed.
Mavericks.
Solid 7 seed.
And see, the Mavs are a sleeper.
Are
a sleeper because I don't know how Luka and Kyrie are actually gonna
They might be crazy.
But they have to stay healthy. That is a key thing with them too.
Yeah, true.
Especially with Kyrie. As long as if they're both healthy, I could see them being a top 6 seed. No, they're not. They're not going to be a top 6 seed.
They were in the play-in last year, and then on top of that, they get Chet Holmgren.
You make it, bro. You are making these rookies feel like they are.
Chet's not a rookie now. Well, he's technically a rookie, but
you're making first-year NBA players. You're saying that these players are going to come in and basically do the things.
I'm saying they have the
generational
size,
talents do.
They have the size and capability
to be great.
That already are better than a lot of the big men in this league.
Well, I mean, how many?
There's not many good.
How many dominant bigs are in the league? Like
currently, there's only 2.
Who?
Or 3 in my book.
You got
Embiid, Sabonis. Those are the only real problems. We saw Bam fold. We saw Ayton fold. We saw. I mean, who else do you need? That's it. That's pretty much it. And then you got these young guys. That's what I'm saying. You got Paolo, who's
a beast. Shout out to town to Paolo.
Who's a shifty big, who's a forward center because he got that athleticism that can win those matches.
He's on the rise.
And then you got
who do y'all got coming up? No, they're on the rise. Yeah, we know Chet's coming back, but he's not even a proven player like that. Paolo's more proven, in rookie year.
For sure, but you don't need to be that proven.
But we're talking about the Warriors. The most proven veterans. You feel me?
Accent that OKC team because they already have space. They got crazy shooters, and they got Shy, who's just cooking.
We've heard from several different NBA podcasters talk about how different the playoffs are compared to regular season.
For sure. How I'm not talking about winning. I'm talking about getting there. And then you got the Timberwolves.
T-Wolves not a top 6 seed out the West.
Not even top 8?
No.
They'll be in the play-in.
So you don't think Ant-Man's that good then?
I think
Ant-Man is phenomenal. However, I don't think Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert are going to give him the help that he needs to be a dominant team. Anthony Edwards is a baller. He's a dog for sure.
We don't know these offseason moves, but obviously they're catering more towards a Jaden McDaniels combo with Anthony Edwards, as rightfully so.
And see, that could be nice. However, I mean, a lot of these guys, they haven't really done much in the playoffs to show that, these are somebody's to be worried about. Now, a guy but look at it, a guy like Jimmy Butler, who took the Miami Heat with nobody on the team
for sure
to the NBA Finals out the East.
Sure.
I don't care about Dame going to the Bucks. I don't care about Kristaps Porzingis going to the Celtics.
For sure.
If Jimmy could do that out the East, I mean,
anything
you can't count him out.
Anything can happen in the playoffs because of injuries and all that. But I'm talking about regular season getting dubs consistently throughout the season. I could see the T-Wolves doing that. I could see OKC being a sleeper. I could see the Mavs being a sleeper.
Well,
aside from that, obviously,
we're so far away.
It's slim for the
it's teams in the bottom of the playoffs. But who do you guys just quickly just go through it? Who do you have making it out to the finals this year? Just straight up
to the finals.
Yeah,
I want the Lakers.
I got the Bucks, and if the Clips get Harden, they're to there. If not, Suns versus Bucks, a rematch.
I'm calling Lakers Heat.
You're not feeling Milwaukee?
I'm not gonna lie. Milwaukee is obvious.
Dame and Middleton.
Milwaukee is the obvious choice. I'm not gonna cap.
Don't forget about Brook Lopez, the next all-time leading.
Bro, they have 3 teams all-time leading scorers on their squad.
I'm thinking Clippers because I'm assuming the Clippers will get James Harden. I'm thinking Clippers and Milwaukee. But, I'm a Warriors fan, so I'm feeling like we'll make it to the Western Conference Finals. But I'm feeling like Steph, he's feeling like he's in his bag. I'm cocky. I feel like we're going back to the finals, but to respect.
That's a reach.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
respect
I mean,
Clippers. If Harden don't go to the Clippers, it's the Warriors. And look, Town Talk prediction specialist, you're listening to him because look, I predicted on this podcast the Warriors will win 2022.
You had a big man then. Wiseman.
What happened? He didn't play. What are you talking about?
I thought she had
played no finals.
Like that,
Who was the big man then? Looney
and Kuminga.
Oh. Well, at least
and Kuminga's gotten.
He's 7 feet tall now. Skip.
He's nice.
Kuminga being 7 feet tall, I gotta see it. Him being Wemby overnight, I gotta see it.
Hey, but I'll call it right now. Miami's winning the championship next year.
That's a bold take. You need
That
to
is-
put some money down.
I'll put some. Hey,
Hey,
I'll make.
you might win $5 million.
I'll make that bet. I'll make that bet this
$5 million.
weekend. I'm gonna put Miami winning it.
Dame going to the Bucks made Jimmy Butler go God for that photo shoot. I think that.
Hey, what did he do, bro? Last year he had fake dreads and took his team to the finals. He was going emo now, bro. They're winning it all.
Well, I'm saying he
I can't
tweeted
count him
that
out.
You guys need
It's
to
Hemi
look into
buckets.
the Bucks for tampering. I'm pretty
Hey.
sure he's suffering right now.
Hey,
But-
if Miami makes the playoffs, you can't count them out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, if they make the playoffs, obviously.
Now, if they don't make the playoffs, then I mean, shit.
They tried.
I mean, it's not on
Hey.
Jimmy, but
You betting it all on BBL Lowry, man. Definitely.
They announced
Nah,
Miami. He
that's
announced
crazy.
Kyle Lowry
That
was
is
the main
crazy.
starter. Crazy.
Hey.
but yeah.
But
Now
nah,
we'll
man.
see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for the
But
season
no, yeah,
for sure.
it's gonna be an exciting season, man. You know, it's gonna be a even more exciting season of Town Talk as we get, we follow along with this sports talking, town news, y'all. So go ahead and sign them out, man. We done had a good show.
Come on,
Yes,
another
sir.
Town Talk.
Till next time, you feel me?
Keep tuning in. Come on.
Easy.
My boy Easy's Memorial, man. R.I.P. Easy, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Keep it easy.
Yes.